Good morning, thriving warriors. Today is Monday, May 8th, 2023. It's 6:05 in the morning here in Amargosa on a beautiful day. Good morning, Amargosa Valley. So the current temperature is 53. The high for today is going to be 84. The low is 50. The low was 50. So 50 to 84, that is a 30-degree temperature swing. And like I said, here we are at Department of Career Services, where our goal is to help you on your journey from someday Isle to Success Landia. We do that through a series of little nourishing morsels that you can scoop up, chew, easily digest, and get nourished, a little bit of nourishment. Good morning, Charlene. Good morning, Diana. Does anybody think that Todd will join us this morning now that he has moved to Rain Man? Is he now already ka-chunk down, dwindling down, dropping down? Okay, so we'll see. It's up to Todd. His future is in his hands. But here we are. So what are these morsels? Well, this is the first one, this podcast down below in the description, which has been reorganized to include our metaphor of the boat. I don't know, I can't see the description, but I think there are perhaps 17 other morsels down there, including the motivational video I watched, which today was pretty good, a Jordan Peterson video, a Daily Stoic video, Inc. magazine story of how to be a better employee, how to be a better person, something you have to read. There's a link to Baraka Church, link to David Goggins, link to Jack Rowland on health. There's a TED Talk. Today is week 3, day 1. This is David Logan talking about tribes, because this week, then we have a prayer and Aesop FABLE. So that's most of the morsels down below, most of the tidbits down below. So moving along, so why do we do this? How do we do it? Well, think of a boat. You're on someday Isle. You want to get across the ocean, somewhere out of sight, a long distance away, long ways away, to Success Landia. You have to cross this ocean in a boat that you build and get a crew for, because you can't do it alone. It's too far, can't do it alone. You need a bigger boat, and a bigger boat means you need people to help you with the boat. So big boat, biggest possible boat, crew to get to Success Landia. You have to build the boat. That is the journey that we are all on in life. Our goal is to help you build the boat and to properly staff the boat. And the boat has sails. It has a rudder steering system. It has a below deck where there's the kitchen and the sleeping area and the cargo space and things like that. And of course, the boat itself. And those line up with the 4 parts of our program, what we do, how we help you. So there's the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. The sails are like the physical part. The rudder, the steering system, is the mental part. The below decks is the emotional part. And the whole, the most important thing, is the spiritual part. And for us, that is the belief that Jesus is the Messiah. So, that's what we do. So let's get started. In order to start, climb aboard the ship, get aboard the ship. Let's get on board. So to do that, first thing we need is coffee. We need coffee to invigorate as part of our daily routine. Join your coffee with this podcast. Pen to write, paper to write on, because our goal is to learn, not just to be temporarily entertained or whatever the word, however you choose to describe it. All right. So first thing we have is advice from an 80-year-old. Next little morsel, next little soundbite. Oh, we gotta have a sip of the coffee. Good cracker. Okay, it's simple. Little morsel, scoop it out. Always accept an outstretched hand. This is advice from an 80-year-old. Always accept an outstretched hand. Next, let's write in our book. I'm so happy and grateful now that blank. And then ask ourselves the question, what am I so happy and grateful for right now? What am I so happy and grateful for right now? And then let your brain answer the question. Don't think of the statement. Listen. And then write it down. Okay, good. Moving right along. Today's TED Talk. David Logan, The Tribes We Lead. David Logan has been responded to us over the last 10 years. Well, maybe not 10 years, maybe 8 years. Since in 2015, talking about tribes, things that we do. So why are we watching? Okay, this is the third week in our program. The first week was intro and orientation, the concept of someday I'll versus Successlandia, why you want to get to Successlandia, and an overview of how we're going to help you do that. Week 2 was how to build the boat, why we need the things on the boat we do, things to consider. How big are the sails? Why are they important? How big is the cargo hold? Why is it important? How does the rudder, the steering mechanism work? Why is it important? And most importantly, how is the shape and the type of hull that we need? What is the shape of the boat to be able to get us through the water, easily navigate through the predictably unpredictable and often remorseless ocean. Okay, so that was week 2. Week 3, now we need to make sure we get a crew on our ship, and it has to be the right crew. We have to attract the right people on our ship. If we get the wrong people or we don't get people, the journey is going to end badly. It does not end well. Okay, that's this week, and we start off with David Logan. I'm answering our question of how do we get people on the ship, on our boat. He says, join a tribe and nudge it forward. So find a group of people, like-minded people. That's the starting point. And then nudge it forward. That means you have a different idea. Tomorrow we'll talk about how you nudge it forward. Okay, moving right along. Seth Godin, Seth's blog. This is a very good, timely blog. So it looks like we just have our 2 stalwarts on here, Charlene and Diana. Todd is not going to be joining us. Okay. So the thing about decay, and then he has a little one panel cartoon where there's a dentist looking in the mouth of a jack-o'-lantern. And he says, I can make your teeth neat and square again, but you'll have a bigger mouth. Right, because you've got to do what? Cut away stuff. And the look on the jack-o'-lantern's face is not a smile. One reason we have so much trouble fixing chronic degenerative conditions is that we need to remove elements before we can start building new functions. True, that's like changing the status quo, destroying the dominant paradigm. You have to get rid of things in order to make things better. If we simply put effort on top of a shaky foundation, it's all to be wasted. It'll all be wasted, right? Okay, so this is our fundamental clash with the status quo. They don't want to change. People or our personal lives. We want things better, but we don't want to change. We don't want to stop doing the things that we're comfortable doing. We don't want to stop eating badly. We don't want to stop smoking. We don't want to stop not exercising. Okay, we want a better result. If we simply put effort on top of a shaky foundation, it'll all be wasted. The best way forward might be to take a few steps back. Right. Rethink what are the objectives and then move forward. I do this daily, which is why I like spending time alone driving. Well, I like spending time alone. Most people don't like driving. Therefore, if I say, who wants to go on a drive with me? People would rather what? Stay comfortable or less uncomfortable than going on a drive. Talking. Okay, next on our hit parade, our fable, the old lion. A lion had grown very old. His teeth were worn away. His limbs could no longer bear him, and the king of beasts was very pitiful indeed as he lay gasping on the ground about to die. Where now his strength and his former graceful beauty. Now a boar spied him, and rushing at him, gored him with his yellow tusk. A bull trampled him with his heavy hoofs. Even a contemptible ass let fly his heels and brayed his insults in the face of the lion. Moral of the story: it's cowardly to attack the defenseless, though he be an enemy. So it's cowardly to attack the defenseless, even if it's somebody that's an enemy. Okay, well, I agree with that. What I say to you is this is an example of the third law of power, which is power is taken, it's not given. So what did the non-king of beasts do? When the king of beasts couldn't defend himself, they quickly swooped in and took away his power. And the fourth law of power, which is fairness only occurs between equals. The strong do what they can, the weak suffer what they must. So now the lion is no longer strong, and the other ones are stronger, so he has to suffer their things. So I would say, number one, go out on top. Don't wait until it's too late. Now, if we look at the nature of the lion, this king of beasts might have been a beast, not a king, more on the beastly side, not the kingly side. Thus, when he could no longer torment the animals, when they saw their chance, they turned on him and wiped him out. So what does that say about how he was before? Rather than them being at his bedside, making things comfortable for his transition to wherever dead lions go, he suffered a painful last minute. Okay. Prayer. Live simply. Compassionate and loving God, you created a beautiful world for us to share. Give us the desire to live simply so that our lives show your generosity. You made us responsible for the earth. Guide us so that those who come after us may enjoy your creation. Amen. Okay, good one. All righty then. Now, where we at? Still no Todd. No Maria Sanchez. So when the going gets tough, what? When the going gets tough, the tough get going. So, not a reflection on them. Obviously, it's a reflection on the podcast. But we have a couple people who built it into their routine. So no matter how not good it is, it's still part of the morning routine that we all do in an effort to make our lives better. Okay, Diana, you're up. What is the next morsel? How do we get from point A to point B? How do we go from someday I'll to success landia? Right. Act such that yesterday was the only easy day. Push ourselves just a little bit harder today. Do just a little bit more today. Message from Jeff. Let's see what Jeff is saying. Where do we do all this on? Jacob Henry. I'm not sure what the question is. Oh. Okay. That's a question to Jeff from Jacob Henry. All right. So act such that yesterday was the only easy day. Push yourself a little bit more. We put the cheese out for Todd yesterday, and he went for the cheese. Too bad. What is it? Too bad, so sad. Todd went for the cheese. So now we have to make arrangements for something else. And last morsel, when is the journey over? When you stop breathing, when your heart stops, that's when the journey is over. If you're still here, God is not through with you yet. You still have things to do. Right. So we're not talking about once saved, always saved. We're not talking about grace. We're not talking about that. We're talking about since you're here, you're part of something good. So let's make the most of it. And I will then say, and, oh no, I need somebody to say, and cut. There we go, Diana, and cut with a smile. And boom.